everyone, and welcome to Friday's video. Today we're going to have ham and pineapple crock pot. It would be crock pot Wednesday, but we're going to have it for Friday today. And I'm going to have mashed potatoes. And then I'm going to share with you a project that I worked on this week. Alright, now we're going to put the rest of them in here. We're going to keep this in my out porch. We're going to have a cover over top of them. And this is what we're going to eat from for the next 2 weeks. And what is left is going to be planted out in the garden. So let's get in the kitchen. It's a busy day this morning. I'm going away for the whole morning with my daughters. So what we're going to have for lunch today is we are going to have some mashed potatoes, and I'm making ham and pineapple. When you're away all day and everybody is hungry when they get home, what are we going to do? So I'm making these mashed potatoes ahead of time. And I'm going to mash them up, and then I'm going to put them in the crock pot on low. And I'm going to get the ham, and I'm going to get the pineapple, and we're going to have an amazing meal, and it's going to cook itself because I don't have to be here to tend to it. So let's get the ham and the pineapples out. This is the very last of my potatoes from a harvest of the fall. So my potatoes are cooked, and now we're going to go ahead and drain them. Everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes. But I thought I would share with you a little bit how you can even make mashed potatoes ahead of time for your family meal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drain these, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to mash them. Always melted the butter and had the milk hot, but I just don't do that. I do it all this way. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to add a little bit of milk to start. And then I'm going to use my immersion blender because I love this one. It's so easy to use. Now that the potatoes are mashed, now I'll show you. This is the ham and pineapple. So this is our ham and pineapple that we're going to have along with our mashed potatoes. And I'm going to have a fun day. I'm going to go thrift shopping with my daughters, and you'll see that video next week. I really wanted to show you what I got with my $20 bill at the discount grocery store. This week was amazing. As you see, I got a lot of bags of corn because I'm going to be canning corn, and I'm using the frozen corn, and I'm going to can that. I got some ketchup for $1. In fact, everything that you see here was 99 cents each. So this was 99 cents for this pork hot dogs. Everything was 99 cents, and some of the things were organic. It was an amazing day. And I wanted to show you that the prices are 99 cents. I got some organic butter here I'm showing you, and that also was 99 cents. The yogurt, 99 cents. So I'm really excited to be able to can all of this corn because this is really what I went for. 3 for $1 for salad kits. You can't beat that price. Everyone, and today we're going to make some barbecue rub. And the reason why I'm making this is because I was using some shake and bake, and I didn't realize the high sodium shake and bake has. Also, shake and bake has some preservatives in it, and for pennies I can make my own. I also found out that on Amazon, if I list a used book on Amazon and you buy that book, I can actually get 20 to 50 cents per book. I didn't realize that. So when I use a used book and I find it on Amazon, I'm going to share with you the link just so you can see it. Because a book like this, I got for only a couple dollars. And this is where the recipe comes from. It's called Today's Coming, Christmas Gifts from the Kitchen. But what's neat about this book is it's not really have anything to do with Christmas. It's all kinds of things you can make for gifts. And most of it is food. And today it's the barbecue seasoning. There's a lot of recipes in here I just love. And when you buy it used, it doesn't cost very much. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make barbecue seasoning. So let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm making a double portion, because when I go through all this trouble, I like to make double of everything. But the first thing I want to share with you is it calls for parsley flakes, and it calls for 4 tablespoons. I already have it in my jar, so I'm not going to take that out. So we know that's in the jar. Everything is going to go in this jar when we're finished. It calls for 1/4 cup of paprika, but we're doubling that, so it's going to be a half. So we're going to put a half a cup of paprika in our bowl. I just love mixing up my own mixes like this. Then it calls for garlic powder. It calls for 2 tablespoons, but we're going to use 4. This is so simple. In a matter of minutes, you can make it. So we're going to go with 4 tablespoons. Now you can use this for seasoning anything. It doesn't have to be used like shake and bake. You can use this to season any of your food that you want to season in a barbecue flavor. The parsley flakes are in here. You know what? We're just going to put it right back in. We'll put it in. Then it calls for 2 tablespoons of parsley, which would be 4. And then it calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar, which would be 2. So we'll use 2 tablespoons. It calls for ground cinnamon. So it calls for 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So I'm going to add the cinnamon, but I'm not going to add. So it calls for, there would be 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to use this and just go lightly on the cinnamon. I'm going to go really lightly on the cinnamon. Then it calls for, if you're doubling like I am doing, then it calls for 2 teaspoons of ginger. I'm not adding any ginger. Also, it calls for 2 tablespoons of salt, which would be 4 tablespoons. That's a lot of salt. I'm not going that route. So what I'm going to do with the salt is, I'm just going to put a little bit of my barbecue smoked salt. I have smoked salt that I get on Amazon. I love this stuff. So we're just adding a little bit of that. For the whole idea of this was to get rid of all of the salt. We don't want all of that salt. Then it calls for pepper. It calls for a teaspoon, so that'd be 2. So we're just going to sprinkle some pepper in here as well. I really want to get away from having so much salt because salt really isn't the best for you. Look how pretty this looks. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It almost looks like Christmas colors, doesn't it? Now the parsley is parsley that I dried, that I got cheap. There is a few little stems in it, which is fine. It won't hurt anything. So there you go, my friends. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour it into our container, and our barbecue seasoning is finished. This book has hundreds and hundreds of seasonings. Parmesan and dill, nacho cheese seasoning. I mean, I'm going to be using this book a lot. So, if I can find this book on Amazon, I'll just show it so you can see it for yourself. But that's what it looks like. Alright, so let's get pouring in our little container, and we want to make sure we label it so we know what it is. Barbecue seasoning, put a cute little scoop in it. Close up the lid, and there we go. For pennies, we have barbecue seasoning that's going to last us a long time. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. From Fanny's Diary, we're on April the 12th, 1943, and Fanny's entry is quite humorous. Today, I did 1 load of wash in my washing machine. It was full. Then all of a sudden, the washer stopped. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. I sure hope we can fix it. How many of us know what that's like, to have a lot of laundry and have the washer stop? I'm guessing she had a wringer washer. It's times like these I wish she had more details in her diary. But then again, I guess she never thought that anybody would be reading them.